Hi, my name is Trudy Scott. I'm a realtor here in San Antonio, Texas, and I'm sure you're wondering what your home's value is during this COVID-19. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about your home selling strategies and how safety is first, and then we're also going to get into the market here in San Antonio. So let's get started. So the realtors are taking a lot of precautions with their clients. I know in our brokerage, they have given us a lot of advice. We've been watching webinars. National Association of Realtors is also guiding us as far as how to take care of our clients and what we should and should not be doing. So obviously, if we're having a fever, we're not feeling well, we need to stay home and quarantine. And we're doing a lot of more virtual showings, which we're going to get into a little bit a little bit later. So at Coldwell Banker D.N. Harper Realtors, we are doing a lot to keep our clients safe. We have our online home search, which is available on my website at trudyscotthomes.com. We also are doing more virtual home tours and open houses. So I've been doing this with some of my listings, doing the open houses virtually through through Facebook. And with the virtual home tours, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in just a minute, but we are doing a lot more with that. Zoom is really popular right now, so meeting with our clients through Zoom is a great technique that we are doing to have that face-to-face. And also just taking our precautions, with the health also. So for showing time, which is a service that we use to actually schedule our appointments here in San Antonio, they did add a virtual showing button, and this basically allows the seller to only have virtual showings available, or we can do a combination. It does take a little bit more time in the beginning. Maybe the seller or the agent would need to go and film the house, and then you can actually send it to the clients that are interested, those buyers. But if you do not want people in your home, this is a great alternative. So here's a couple of ideas that were put together for the seller. The first one is this model COVID-19 certification for property access. So the agents have been uploading this, and as we go and look at homes, the seller asks that, if you have been experiencing any cold or flu-like symptoms in the last 14 days, if you have been diagnosed with COVID or tested, there's a test pending for COVID, if you're currently in quarantine, things like that, that you do not enter the home. They're just trying to, prevent any spread. The other item is this sheet that we created that you can put on the front door of the seller's home. Basically, it's just stating, to please limit the number of people entering to essential parties only. Also, maybe removing your shoes. And I know with a seller that I'm working with, we have little booties available right at the front door, and I have a little sign stating that, please remove your shoes. Also, avoid touching doorknobs, light switches, and surfaces. So also something that I've noticed is sellers are leaving all the lights on. That is very helpful for the agent, not having to touch surfaces, and also wearing gloves. The agent's wearing I've been seeing a lot of realtors wearing gloves to help also with that. Here is a form that was just created called the COVID-19 Addendum. It was created by the Texas Association of Realtors, and it is something that can be utilized in the contract to help those sellers or buyers that might be quarantined due to the COVID-19. Maybe they lost their job. Maybe they have COVID-19 and it's going to have to delay closing. This is a document that will help ensure that you can delay closing or even terminate due to COVID-19. This is the COVID-19 Community Resource Guide that Coldwell Banker D.N. Harper Realtors put together. It's a little short guide that we can email out to our clients just to kind of help guide them with questions and some resources available to them if they needed it. All right, so realtors, sellers, and buyers need to work together to keep everyone safe. So here's a great little sheet that Sabor put together. It's tips for home showings during COVID-19. This is both on the seller and the buyer side. So for the seller side, we want to explain the sanitation protocol up front. Talk with your clients about the necessity to clean before and after. That's really, really important. Also, maybe supply some hand sanitizer for people who are going into your home. That might be something good to offer. And then obviously wipe down those doorknobs, light switches, things like that, especially after people have been in your home to ensure that you don't get COVID-19. So as a realtor, this one's a really hard one, but we want to avoid handshakes or other physical contact. Those hugs are what's hard for me. I'm a hugger. And so, making sure that we maybe wave to our clients is necessary. Also, don't provide food or drinks if you're hosting an open house. This is for realtors. But offering food and drinks is usually something that we normally always do. But during this pandemic, I would probably, stay away from that. Consider providing booties. Again, I mentioned this earlier. This is important so that we don't track in maybe germs that might be on our shoes. I do this anyways just to make sure that dirt and other things don't get in through the house, especially if it's a really, really nice house. Sanitize your personal space after a showing. I mentioned that. And then consider a virtual showing. We already talked about that as well. So here's another great sheet that Sabor created called COVID-19 Frequently Asked Questions for Sellers. So the first question says, I was planning to sell my home. Can I still do that? And that answer is definitely yes. Right now, the inventory is really low here in San Antonio. We need more houses. And as I've mentioned, there are ways to virtually have those meetings. We could do it that way. We can have virtual open houses. We can make sure that we sanitize really well. Also, keeping the time limit maybe to 15 minutes to 30 minutes at a time so people aren't lingering in the house. That's some really good ideas. So these are some really, really great questions. Are realtors practicing social distancing? How might this affect me? So in my brokerage, we definitely are. We are able to work from home. I know that I haven't really been going into the office that much unless I need to. I wear masks. I am going to be wearing gloves, and I'm going to do my part as much as possible to practice social distancing. So these are some great questions that you can read over. So let's talk about the market statistics here in San Antonio. Here we have April of 2020. This was put out by Sabor. And as you can see, we have a fantastic market still here in San Antonio. We have buyers and we still have sellers. That's not going to stop. For new listings, we had over 3,500. Our active listings were over 94, almost 9,500. And we had 2,652 pending sales, meaning they were about to close in the month of April. And you do know that the average price per square foot was $129. That's an increase of 3% over last year in April. That is fantastic. Wow, those sellers are really getting good prices on their homes. So as far as the days on the market, it was only one less day than the last year, so 61 days. And as you can see on the next part, affordable housing is going down, unfortunately, here in San Antonio. Our average price point is $200,000 to $499,000 at 63. That's where the majority of our home ownership lies. So on the average price, it's $275,331. That's an increase of 4% over last year. The median price is $241,500 with an increase of 5% over last year. So the only thing that really went down was the total sales. We had a decrease of 8% over last year, and that I'm sure is due towards the COVID-19. But what I am finding with my buyers, especially in around the $200,000 range, is it's very fierce out there. I am dealing with multiple offers. I know in the last two, I've had 6 offers and then 7 offers that I had to contend with. And then offers are over the asking price, especially in that price range. And the offers are coming in one day. You basically have to jump on the offers. So I want to say thank you so much for listening to my webinar. The market here in San Antonio is fantastic. I know that the sales prices are continually growing. I would love to come over to your home and do a market analysis for you and see, what the value is of your home. It depends on kind of your upgrades that you have done in the home, what still needs to be fixed. But I can go through it with you and, give you advice on, how to make your house look beautiful, to get the most dollars possible. And I don't think you'll have any problem in selling your home. We need the inventory. So please contact me and I would be happy to help you. Again, my name is Trudy Scott. I'm with Coldwell Banker, DN Harper Realtors. Thank you so much for listening.